So welcome to another Tech Tuesday. As usual, my name is Kane. Everyone calls me Coach Kane. I'm the tech coach. Yeah, every single Tuesday, as these meetings are called Tech Tuesdays, we go over, tech tools, any software related things that might help, us agents to be more productive, get more done throughout our day, work smarter, not harder, or actually both. I don't like people that just say, I only work smart. You got to work smart, but work smart hard, okay? It's double benefit. Um, so yeah, we talk about a lot of cool things. Usually it's KV Core because that's, one of the pretty much the best pieces of software you could get used to using, and you should be on KV Core on a daily basis, nurturing your leads. But yeah, sometimes I like to mix it up and throw in different things. And today is one of those days where we take a little break from KV Core. And I want to show you a new feature, okay? But before we begin, just like all of these meetings, I like to share this QR code. It's to sign up to receive email invitations for these meetings, whether it's the Monday meetings, contracts with Coach Frank, or these Tech Tuesdays, or the Wednesday evaluations with Coach Renee Oliva. You get, what we'll be talking about in the email, a link to the Zoom, as well as any other things that might be going on, such as, live in-person meetings at the office, or, fun tips or anything that might be useful to you. So I send a lot of great information through those weekly emails. If you're interested in that, you can scan this QR code or type this link in the chat, or I'll actually write the link in the chat also, so that you can directly click on that a little bit later. There it goes. Or you can always email me. This is my email. It's going to be at the end of this presentation as well. All right. Before we get started, just 3 little bullet points. Show this every time also. You can interrupt me at any time by raising your hand. There's a little feature on Zoom where you can, raise your hand. So that you can, ask me a question, or you can type anything in the chat. I'll be checking that periodically to see if anyone has any questions. I'll also try and stop midway just to make sure you guys don't have any comments or whatnot. I don't want to get lost in the sauce and talk too much. I want it to be an open conversation so that we can all learn and contribute together. Okay, so you can also participate by providing feedbacks through polls, which I want to start doing a little bit more. Usually I do these polls at the beginning of the meeting. We'll do one right after, actually, if it works. I'm not sure if it will because Frank is here. And last but not least, these meetings are recorded. That is why I am able to put them on YouTube so that you guys can rewatch them. So link to the YouTube channel. Let me also, I'll find that for you guys and put it in the chat shortly. But you can rewatch these at your own pace anytime. And I'm starting to also write about all of these meetings as blog articles so that you guys can go back to those and actually read about it also. And I'll have a QR code somewhere on here to get to that blog article, and you can bookmark it to read later. Okay. Let's see here. Welcome, Florida. Nice to see you. Just right on time. Okay, and this is the YouTube channel. Actually, yeah, there it is. The QR code to get to the YouTube. You can rewatch all of the videos and extra videos I record on the side to post on there to provide you guys with as much value as possible. A lot of it is KV Core oriented, but I want to branch out and do more, social media guidance, type videos, how to post on social media and how to get comfortable recording yourself, or how to get started as a, beginner, because most of us are not super comfortable with social media. And you don't want to get left in the dust. It's 2023. If you're not online, you'll be left behind. It's only going to be that way moving forward with AI and everything coming into the mix. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys use AI, but I'm preparing something really cool at the office to showcase how I use AI and how every other agent can also do so to work smarter, okay, and harder as a result. But this is the QR code that will take you to the YouTube channel so that you can rewatch all of those trainings, okay, in addition to these Tech Tuesday meetings. So I'm gonna leave this up for a little bit longer. Make sure you guys can if you're not already subscribed to it. Perfect. Let's see here. Thank you, Sophia. Yeah, and if you guys ever have any questions whatsoever about KV Core, social media, branding, logos, websites, you name it, reach out to me, comment under the videos, email me, call me at 2 a.m. I love doing this stuff, so it's never a bother. So yeah, the poll probably won't work. I think Frank is here and it doesn't work when we're both here. We'll do the poll a little bit later. All right, so today's topic is enhancing real estate listings with Google Maps. Okay, I'm sure that's not something a lot of people know about or even do. It's kind of a little fun thing you could do on the side to, you know, go above and beyond for your clients. And this can work on the buyer side and on the seller side. There's some really neat things you can do using this Google feature, and it's absolutely free. It's relatively easy to learn, and we'll do it together very shortly here. I'll show you how to, you know, utilize that, share that with clients, and in what ways you can update it and, you know, generate leads as a result. There's a bunch of things you could do with the whole maps thing here. Let me see. Oh, we got another person. All right, welcome Sumati. You're right on time. We're talking about Google Maps. I'm sure all of us have heard about it at some point. If you haven't, you need to use it. It's really helpful. But yeah, so that's a topic. By the end of today's meeting, I always like to have these little bullet points so you kind of know what to look forward to. Did I read all of these? So yeah, you'll be able to create basically custom maps to highlight, you know, the cool stuff in a specific neighborhood. So let's say you have a listing in a specific, you know, neighborhood, and you know, people come in. There's a bunch of things you can do to actually utilize this that we're about to do today. But you're essentially creating a map of all of the relevant things people might think about or look for when moving into a new place, whether that be schools, places to eat, parks, shops, movie theaters, you name it. So you can basically curate your own map and share it with clients. And this could work, like I said before, both on the buyer and seller side. Because if you're showing a lot of properties, you can create these maps based on the properties you're going to show your clients, just to show them in what way that property might be, you know, the best choice based on what they need. You know, it's an extra thing. It's something that I've never seen anyone do. And I thought I would share that with you guys. So yeah, all these bullet points basically mean what I just said. And you can always go back through this video and read all of this stuff, okay? But yeah, there's even ways to use this alongside social media. But then again, you have to get comfortable maybe recording yourself a little bit or do some, you know, photos or whatnot and do some nice social media posts, but it's very versatile. Okay. Any questions? Nothing in the chat. I think we're good so far. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to my web browser. And let me put the link to the YouTube in the chat also. This is a YouTube channel. For anyone that wants to rewatch these videos, you can click on this link, subscribe to here, and there's a lot of different videos for you guys to check out on all the past stuff we've done. And it's only gonna grow from here. So yeah, we even got Coach Renee and Coach Frank somewhere down there. All right, so This is a Google feature, so I'm going to go to google.com. And the way to get to this Google Maps feature is by first being on Google. This is the best way I found, at least. Maybe you can bookmark the page after you get to it, but you want to make sure that you're logged into your Gmail account, okay? Because you need a Google account to do this, and you know, that will enable you to share this with other people. Okay, at least I'm 98% sure you need to have a Gmail account, but most people already do anyway. So once you're on Google and you're signed in with the account you wish to create these maps on, all you got to do is just type my maps. I believe that's how I found it. There it is. So once you type my maps, you're going to click on this first link. Okay, it should say www.google.com/maps/about/mymaps. Okay, I'm gonna click on this and it's gonna take you to the screen. And just so we're all on the same page, I'm going to copy the link to this and I'll paste it in the chat in case you guys get different results. So once you get here, maybe you can bookmark this so that way you don't always have to, you know, type it up. But yeah, so once you get to the screen, it's going to take you here. It'll say Google Maps at the top left, and it'll say My Maps, and then it'll have a button that says Get Started. Okay, so I'm gonna click on Get Started. And then it'll open up another tab, another window, sorry, and it'll say at the top left, Google My Maps. Okay, this is how you know you're in the right place. Okay, I'm gonna remove these so we can do one from scratch. So you guys, if you've never done this before, you probably won't see anything over here, okay? So yes, once you get to this page, actually, you might wanna copy this link instead, so it'll take you directly here, sorry. You could bookmark this, depending on the browser you use, that might be different. But hopefully everyone's following so far. No questions, no hands raised. Cool. All right, so when you get to the Google My Maps, you'll notice a big red button at the top left. It'll say create a new map, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on create a new map right here. So what that'll do is it'll open up a brand new page and you're gonna see, you know, the familiar Google Maps, but just with different buttons to click on. And, you know, it doesn't look like the usual one when we're trying to find McDonald's or Taco Bell. So it'll have more stuff to do on here. But before we actually start building a map, usually you wanna have a goal. So are you trying to create a specific map for a buyer, or maybe you have a listing and you want to create a map with all of the different things around the city that people can expect to, you know, enjoy when they move into that area and buy that property. So let's go ahead and just assume we're doing the latter, okay? We have a listing and we would like to create a custom map with the nicest places to eat next to, you know, that property, the mall areas maybe, parks and all of that other stuff. And I'll kind of show you the blueprint on how to build this, and then you guys could go to town with, you know, adding, you know, places that are not even on the map. You could just put a pin somewhere with like you know, they have a term for this, like restaurants people don't know about but are really good, and you can have those on the map and like be the expert in that area. It's a really fun thing to do, and it encourages conversation. And yeah, so let's first find a property that we'll assume that is our listing. I'm gonna go to KV Core here. And you can find any property, honestly, any address of any house. This is just for example purposes. You could go on the CRMLS or on KV Core. And I'm just gonna find, I'm under the listings tab, by the way. So when you click on that, it will show you all of the listings because it's connected to your MLS subscription. So I want to choose a listing within my office. So I'm going to switch on agency listing under the filters. And I'm going to go down a little bit more. And under property type, I want to make sure this is a single family house. Not that it matters too much, but I just want to see actual, houses. Okay. All right, welcome, Alton. Nice to see you. Long time. All right, so I want to see single family homes. I'll apply this filter. Again, this is just, I just want to see single family homes. This doesn't matter anyway, you just need an address. But I want to make sure it's a residential area and that, we find a place that's next to a lot of, useful things. Let's choose a nice property here in San Diego. I don't know San Diego too much, but still. Actually, let's stick Glendale. I saw a Glendale one on there. Let's see, what was it? Let me choose this property here on Glendale, California for $2 million. So let's say this is my listing. I wish, but it's not, but let's say it is. This is the address for the property here. Okay, 1860 Magin Drive. I'm gonna copy this address and then we're going to go to our map here, to our tab with our untitled map. This is us clicking on, create a new map, and then it opened up this window. So let's say we have, some people interested, or you're having an open house and you want people to come in and be able to, see what you want to be prepared when people ask you. So what are the schools around this area? What are the, what properties? Have you seen that property down the street that's, going for X amount of dollars? Or, what's a good park? I have a dog, I want to have a park next to me. Our brains can only memorize so much information at a time, and you want to be super professional and be the local expert. So having a little neat map that you create for yourself is gonna, make you stand out, because what you could do is you can actually create this map and then turn it into a QR code. I love QR codes, by the way. They're everywhere in everything I do, in my slides too. So when people scan the QR code, they'll get taken to your map and they'll see all the schools and pretty much everything you put on there, okay? Because it's a custom map. And so you could just say, hey, here, scan this, and all your answers are there. And the cool thing is you get their email when they do that too, which is cool because they have to log into their Google account, their Gmail most often than not, to save that map onto their phone, which is the other aspect of this. You can generate leads as a result. So for this map here, what I did here is I'm going to click on the name untitled map at the top left. Okay, so this is how I create a name for this map. Okay, if you start doing this consistently for different purposes, you want to name these maps so that you know what they are. So for this one, I copied the address of the property so that I can have that be the name of this map. So I'll paste that in here, 1860 Magin Drive. I think that's how you say that. And I'll do listing, just so I know I made this for, actually I'll do open house because that's the analogy or example I'm going with here. So Magin Drive open house map, okay? You even have a little section to put in a description. So yeah, feel free to type in anything in here. This is something you will see. And I believe the viewers of the map can also read this. So you could put something like, this map highlights all the best schools, the best places to eat, parks, and XYZ. Whatever you want to include on this map, write a nice description under it. Or if even you don't have to, but it will help people understand what this map is about, okay? So I'm just gonna do something basic here. This map will show you all the fun things to do in the area. Okay, this is super generic. this is bad, but this is just an example. Okay, so people are going to come into my open house and they'll see a QR code, they'll scan and they'll get taken to my map. Or you can even share, airdrop this or, email it to them. There's a bunch of ways. But once we build the map, I'll show you guys how to, in what ways you can share this map with people. But this is the name of my map and this is the description of my map. So I'm going to click save. And then that's going to get updated. And all of these changes are saved, in your Gmail, which is, your Google Drive account. So as you do things here, the really amazing thing is it updates live. So whoever you share this map with, any updates you make, they will also see those updates. So if I was thinking about this, if you have a farm or you want to, start farming an area, you can, knock on doors and tell people, hey, I'm the new, well, maybe not new, I'm the local agent in your area. And I know all of the, good places to eat, all the nice restaurants you might want to, hang out at, or, some great parks. And I built this amazing map that's, going to be updated live. So whenever something new comes up in town, just go to my map and you'll be able to, stay in touch with everything that's going on around the city. And that's an extra thing now under your tool belt to share with people, clients. Yeah, so that way you're going above and beyond for your clients, which is all it's about. So now we have the name of the map up top, and then we have a little description right here. And right under that, it'll tell you when you last edited the map, okay? So like I said, this is live. So yeah, before I move on, any questions? Anyone got lost in the sauce or anything I did so far?
Just a quick question. Will the
Yes.
people get notifications if as soon as you add new information, or it's just that when they go in there, they'll see it? Like, how does that work?
That is a really good question. I believe you can toggle on, people to be notified, but I've just been, every time I make an edit, I've been, sending I utilize that as a pretext for a marketing email, like, hey, go back to the map. There's this, cool area, that you should check out. So I think there's an option there. They might get notified. That's a really good question. I'll write that down, so I'll find out for you.
Yeah, this is great that you're teaching us this, because I'm imagining like let's say a family wants to move into a certain area, and of course if they have small children, they want to
Yes.
know like the schools, and so that could be like a selling feature, be like, oh yeah, I know
Yes.
you have kids and there's this elementary school here and there's a playground there, So thank you for
Exactly,
teaching us. Yeah.
And yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm sure, I mean, it's connected to your Gmail, so whatever happens, it should get notified, but I want to make sure before I confirm that. But you're absolutely right. So there's so many things you could do with it and market it in so many different aspects. Good question though. Anybody else has a question, something they missed, or a comment?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the radius from the property out?
The radius around the property?
Yeah. When you test the map and you're saying you got this activity, how far?
Yeah.
Is it 1 mile? Or...
This map is worldwide. You can have a map for the whole world if you wanted to.
Just for a particular property. So you got a property there, and you got activities on the property, and how far does that go out for an activity, right?
So I think what you're asking is what would be a good radius for your
to
farm.
put things
So
in the map for?
Yeah, and I think 1 mile radius would be great because it gives you 2 miles across, and that's a big area.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think a good rule of thumb too is, if there's a really popular mall like 1.1 mile away, you don't want to seclude that. Just go based off of landmarks and the highlights. So if the property is next to something really cool, like you live right next to historical landmark, a really popular park, or a really fancy restaurant, don't be afraid to add that on there and like highlight that, and then just make the best thing you know, your limits. I'm not sure if that make any sense, but just you're not confined by anything. Just go based off of what you feel is important. And obviously this map is live. You can update this and, you know, include new things, remove certain things. So just basically highlight what's important to the people you're marketing to. If you're doing an open house, people are going to ask you about schools, other properties that are selling nearby, which you can also, you know, jot down on the map and add little details on there. So we'll do some examples here. But yeah, that's a tough one to answer. It depends on the property and what's in that area. So if it's a boring place, maybe branch out a little bit more. If it's a really busy place with a lot of different things, you might not need to go too far, because then that's too much work for you to, you know, add like 100 different things on the map. Does that answer your question, hopefully?
Yeah.
Awesome. So any other questions, anyone? Keep them coming. Righty. Welcome, Angela. Nice to see you. We're talking about Google Maps today. No KV Core. All right. Let's see. I think we're looking good. Chat is doing well. Okay. So
thank you, Kay.
Yes, you're welcome. So up here, we got the name of our map, a description of the map. And yeah, we're not confined to any location. So because I'm centering around this property here, what I'll do is you can utilize this search bar to get taken to a specific place. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna put my subject property address in here, and that'll take me right there, okay? And as soon as it does, I'll get a little pop-up like this, and I can go ahead and click add to map, okay? When I click add to map, that's going to become one of the locations on my map here. Okay, so you can have different sections or categories, and Google is going to call those layers. So for this layer, I'm just going to call it, you know, maybe you're here, okay? Something like that. You're here. So people know when they look at this map, this is where you're located right now. Or depending on what you do, you might not want to do you're here. You could just do maybe, I'll click on the name again, and I'll do subject property. You know, something like that. Or just to be simple, put the address of the place. And it's just going to be one of the pins on the map. Okay, but I don't want to put the address. I'll put you're here. I think that's a good, you know, we're going with the little open house objective here. So when people scan this map, they'll see the little you're here section. And then down here, these are basically all of the different places under this section. So under the you're here section, that's the only place that's going to be there, if that makes sense. And if you hover over that pin, okay, that we just made right here, there's a little bucket that pops up. And a lot of you guys probably guessed it already. By me clicking on this, I can change the icon of the pin, and I can change the color of the pin. So maybe we can do the you're here one. I'll leave it, you know, this color. I'll keep it at this. And let's choose the little house icon, okay? So that could be an indicator that this is a house and this is where you're located and this is the address, okay? And a lot of other cool things you could do are, you know, you can add an image or a video to this, okay? So for people who have websites or maybe Google business profiles or, you know, pretty much any social media, you can share this map in many different ways. When people go to your map, you can click on the little icon here while building the map, and you can click on the add image or video. And if you are at that location or you go to that place a lot, maybe it's your favorite restaurant in that farm, you can upload a video of you at that farm talking to the owners. Maybe you can make it really fun. And this could be really convoluted and extreme, but you can really play around with this feature. It's very simple, but it can be really, really fun and amazing. So you can have videos of those places. You can have photos of those places. you know, you can link to YouTube videos, you know, a bunch of different things on here. You can find videos that of that place that already exists. Go to YouTube and just paste the link of that YouTube video in here. So you kind of pull other resources. You don't have to be the one on the field recording these videos and taking these photos. Just take some from YouTube and just put the link in here. So when people open up this map and they click on that location, they'll be able to see that media, if you will. So I think that's a really neat feature there. So right now we have one layer called You're Here, and we have our property in that layer. Okay, before we add another layer here with other, you know, areas, if you click on the base map section down here, and there's a little button here. When I click on that, it gives you the option to choose, you know, the I don't know what you call it, the color scheme of the map, if you will. So you can have it be, you know, different colors, or if you want it to be realistic like this or like that, you know, the terrain, or the names are actually there. Light political. So you can play around with how you want your map to look, and certain themes will show street names, certain ones won't. Just choose the one that you like best. I'm going to stick with, let's see here. I think the original was fine. Yeah, you can kind of get an outline of the houses and the street names, which I think is important, so people kind of, you know, can get their bearings. So yeah, so far we've got the house, and oops, looks like we got one more joining us. Oh, welcome back, Angela. All right, what did I do? Okay, the house is here. Let me zoom back in. Okay, so we've got one house. So now that we've got our subject property in there, let's say we want to add some, you know, the properties that are selling, you know, down the street, or, you know, other listings around the area, because a lot of people are going to come into your open house and ask you about, you know, the comparable properties and whether or not, you know, how are you justifying your price, or what do you think of that other one versus yours, or XYZ. And it's, you know, if there's a lot of different things in the area, you could get lost and not know all the details, and you might not sound like the expert, which you don't want to portray. So we're going to add a layer. So there's a button here that says add layer. Okay, so we're going to do that. Once I do that, notice there's going to be a new little row here, and it'll say untitled layer because it's a new one. So I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to give this layer a name. So I'll call it comps. Okay, or you could do other properties or whatever you want to call this. And I'll click save. And now so whatever row is highlighted is the one you're working on, if that makes sense. So if I was to click on this one, the You're Here layer, whatever I jot down on the map will be under the You're Here one. But the You're Here one's only going to have our subject property, so I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to go back to comps, and obviously, when you do this, and if you're doing it for the same purposes I am in the example we're going with, you're going to want to go to the CRMLS or your KV core, see what actual comps are on there, how much they're going for, and then jot them down on the map. Okay, so just for example's sake, if I wanted to say, so I'm going to zoom in here. Man, these are weird shapes. So let's say this property right here was also for sale, okay? And I wanted to make that be known to anyone who was, you know, viewing my map. So instead, you have two ways to add things on the map. You can do what I did when we got started. I can just put the address in the search bar, and then, you know, the map will take you to that place. Or if you recognize it right on the map here, you can click on the add marker button. It's going to be this thing right here. Once you click on that, you are able to select a location manually and just click, and then it will add that location to your map, which is really nice. So let's say we call this one, to be organized, you would want to put the address. So let's call this 00, I don't know, 123, just to be consistent, Magen Drive. So I'll do that, okay? And then maybe I'll do comp here. And in the description, you can write stuff about this property, being sold at, I'll put a dollar amount. I think ours was like 2 million. I'll do like 1.7 M, oops. I'm gonna click on the little pencil button right here to edit more. And then, so a lot of these so this is something I don't like. You might wanna write out all the details first and then come back in here and then paste them, because when you press enter, it kind of exits out. But you could do line by line, 1.7 million, 2-bed, 2-bath, has a pool, doesn't have a pool, or you don't even want to go there because I don't like that agent, so don't even bother going to see this property, just stay on mine right here. But you can kind of jot down all the surrounding properties in this way with all their details. So I can have one here. Let's see here. Can you guys still hear me? I think I might have some audio issues here. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we could still hear you.
Okay. Angela, you might have some audio issues on your end. Yeah, maybe try logging out and back in. That might work. Or next to your microphone button, there's a little arrow. If you click on that, you can select where your mic and speaker outputs are. Actually, she can't hear me. Shoot. All right. Yes, so here's our second location. So remember, you can come back to that specific layer here and you can click on the little bucket of paint to customize the icon. So because this is also a house, I'm gonna keep it, keep that going. But instead of the blue color, because I want the blue color to represent the subject property, maybe let's choose a green one, okay? That signifies an active property. So if I zoom out now, oops, there we go. Let's zoom back in the map. So now any green house on this map will represent, a property in that area that's also being sold. So I'm gonna do like maybe 2 more of those. Let's call this property 2, and I'll just write some gibberish in there. And then just like we did with the other one, I'm gonna click on the bucket, change the color to green, and then it's a house. So I'll click the house icon, and then there we go. Now we have property 2. Okay, so we're gonna add maybe 1 more layer here just so we kind of get a repetition going. So maybe now we have a few comparable properties or active properties. You could go to town, maybe even do recent solds. Obviously don't go overboard and create the CRMLS map because that's obviously already built for you. But now you're more in control of what you kind of jot down on this map, and you can have fun with it. So yeah, you could do sold, pending, active, and all that stuff if it's important to you to have it on there. Remember, you can build these maps as you go, and all the progress you do on there will never go away as long as you have that email. Any questions so far before we add another layer to this? I think we might be looking good. All right. So let's say I want to add some places to eat, because everyone loves, eating, hopefully. So if I go ahead and add a new layer here, it's going to create that row, and then it's going to be untitled by default. So I'm going to click the untitled layer, and I'm going to put, places to eat, or maybe, restaurants, you know, you call it what you want to call it. So I'll do restaurants here. Yes. And now, ideally, you would know, you know, what good spots there are to eat around here. If not, you can always open up another tab and look at all the nice places to eat, places that have good reviews maybe, or, you know, places that you've been to and you like, and you maybe know the staff, the owners that you want to recommend. You can jot those down manually, or you can, like I did for the first property, just write the address of that restaurant or that place to eat, and the map will take you there. Okay, so I don't know this area, so I'm just gonna pick a random spot. Let's say this right here is a steakhouse. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on, so what I did is I clicked on the add marker button. Once you do that, you can click on any place on the map and it'll create that marker for you. So I'll call this the A1 Steakhouse. Okay, and then you can add some details, you know, really nice place. Owner is Matt. I don't know. And he makes delicious food. And XYZ, have all your details in there. Whatever you feel is important to people who might want to visit that or are into the nice food places around the area. And you can click save, and you can click on the little bucket here, or you can also click on it here under the restaurants layer. Same thing, and then you could choose a color for it. So for the food places, let's do those maybe orange. And then you'll have some icons here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. So there it is. There's a restaurant icon here. And just like that, we now have, you know, our first place to eat on our custom map. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this? You can create as many different layers as possible, as you want, that cater to someone's specific, you know, interests. Some people care more about the schools. Some people care more about the places to eat and parks. Some people have dogs, some people don't, so they might need other things around them. So you can leverage this map, these custom maps, to kind of showcase different properties to clients, and kind of show them what the benefits of certain places are, certain neighborhoods are. And the thing is, you don't have to have one map per property. You can have multiple. So if you're on the buyer side and they're looking at a specific neighborhood or zip code, you could create a map for that zip code, have all the properties of interest that they might, you know, be interested in, and have all the restaurants, parks, and all of those things for that place on there, and just show that map to all your future clients that might be interested in that zip code. You could go citywide, you know, the bigger the map, obviously, the bigger you kind of have to plot things down, but it's still a nice little feature to kind of showcase to your, to share with your clients or people you work with, so they always kind of stay up to date with that live map, okay? So this is how you create different layers. This is how you add different places within those layers. And do we have any questions so far before I kind of show you guys how to share this map and all that good stuff? Any questions, comments, concerns? Are we experts at creating our maps now? Awesome. Thank you, Sophia. All right. So let's say you finished building your map. You have a few comps in the area for your open house. You have restaurants, maybe you have parks, schools, you know, landmarks, things that people might want to check out in the area. Let's say you're done, okay? What you want to do is, you can do two things. First, you can click on the preview. So when you click on preview, it opens up a new tab and it actually shows you what people will see when they click on your map, okay? Google says it right here. When you share your map, this is how it will look in view mode. So this is what people see when they actually get to see your map. And check this out. It's going to have all of our different sections here, our restaurants, you know, the comps and the year here section we made.
Where do you press again to see preview?
So I'm going to go back here. Do you see preview next to the in the layer tab?
Oh, I see.
Right
Okay.
here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm. So when you do that, it shows you what the finished product will look like. And people can play around with this. They can move around the map. They can, you know, uncheck the things that they're not interested in. So they only want to see the restaurants. They can uncheck comps. They can uncheck restaurants, you know, etc. And it will tell them how updated, you know, this map is. So 4 minutes ago, this was published. And you can even track how many views it gets, which is really nice. It has a description, the creator, which is me, and the name of my map. Okay. And yeah, people can start browsing around. They can click on, you know, all the things I jotted down on there. So kind of wrote some gibberish on here, but you can have a nice description. You can click on the steakhouse and read about that. If you're making this for one person, you could customize it to, you know, make it so like you're talking to them. You could say, I think you really love this place, Frank, because, you know, has this, 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 and that. Okay, which is nice attention to detail. And what's even cooler is they can click on this button here and get directions to that. So this could be maybe a daily thing in their lives where they just log on to your map and get to their destinations. So this will show them how long it'll take to get there. And from here, that already answers, you know, the school is 30 minutes from here. The park is 25 minutes from here. The movie theater is like 10 minutes from here. So they can do all of that and get all that info from your custom map, you know, everything in one neat place for them. Okay, so this is how you kind of get that preview. And at the bottom here, if they click on that, they get the, you know, real world, you know, top level view. I don't know what you call this view. Or they can click back on here again to get back to the original view. Okay. And oops. So yeah, when you click on this, you get the Google menu thing. You can create another map from here or go back to the original screen. So now that we have a preview, let's say I'm happy with this map, I'm ready to share it with people. I'm gonna go back to our previous tab here. And yeah, so you have the share button right here. It's gonna be between the ad layer and the preview. So if I click share, it's gonna open this little pop-up. And what I can do is it gives you options as far as how you want to share this map. Okay, so if you don't want people to see your name and photo as the creator of the map, you can switch this off and that will not be shared. If you want anyone with the link to this map to view it, I encourage you guys to switch the top one on and the second one also. Okay, so anyone that types, you know, that looks at any of the locations related to your map can actually stumble upon it and just find your map and, you know, thumb it, you know, give it a thumbs up and refer to your map for guidance on that neighborhood. Who knows, you might get a client out of it based on people subscribing to it. Or, you know, just in general, you want to share your map with everyone. So I would switch the top two on. And the third one, I mean, we want to brand ourselves, not be secret agents. So maybe your name could be Real Estate Agent Kane or Realtor Sophia or, you know, Real Estate Consultant Florida. It's up to you. So you make it known you're a realtor. You can have your DRE number or maybe phone number under your name. So you would change this in your Google settings though. Okay, whatever name you have on your Google account, I think that's what is going to be displayed here. If not, you could be sneaky and actually create a layer, or maybe in the name of the map or the description of the map, just type out all your information there. So people will always see it on here. So maybe in this area, you could put your DRE, your phone number, your website, and all that fun stuff. Okay, so for more information, contact me and I'll be happy to show you homes around this area, you know. Welcome back, Sumati. All right, so let me do this again. So to share, you're gonna click on this little share button right here. once you do that, I like to turn everything on to gain maximum exposure and as many options as possible. So once you do that, Google's going to create a link for you down here. So this link is how you're going to get people to your map. So by me copying this, I can even put this in the chat right now of Zoom. Anyone that clicks on this link in the chat will get taken to my map. It's that easy. And you guys can start, you know, checking in on this map. You know, 2 weeks from now, maybe I add 10 different locations with fun things to do next to 1860 Imagine Drive. And you'll see all my info in the description and etc. Okay. So now that you have this link, you can create a QR code out of this. You can put it in an email, you know, just send a mass email to all your clients, let them know if they want to keep up with the city of, you know, XYZ city or this zip code or this neighborhood. Click on this and find out all the fun things to do there. And it's a conversation starter, and it gives you some level of authority as far as the connoisseur or expert agent in that area. Okay, again, another tool under your belt, and it's another way to stay top of mind. Okay, so with this link, I'll show you really quickly how I make QR codes. There's different programs to make QR codes. I make dynamic QR codes and regular ones. The difference is once you print out a regular QR code, you can't change the link it takes you to, but with a dynamic one, you can print it and always change where people get taken to. So on Canva, I think most of us hopefully know what Canva is. That's what I use to actually make my presentations. So on Canva, you can create a design. And if you guys want to do a QR code and put it in your open house, let me know. I'll help you out with that. But you could just create a, you know, Canva page. And on the left-hand side of Canva, if you go to your apps, and you could just type QR in here and then just paste a link. You know, here I have a QR code to my my map, and I can put this in little stands. I've done this before with Frank. It was really successful. People come into your open house, see a QR code, they scan it, and you know, they play around with stuff. So yeah, but this is not a Canva tutorial, just illustrating what you can do with this link. Okay, I could theoretically print this, add some text that says scan me to find out more about this area, and boom, we're done. Okay, so questions about any of these things so far? Comments? Awesome, I think we're good. Okay, so that is, let me go back here. This is how you share your map. Okay, so once you share your map, let me see here. I'm gonna go back. Okay, I'm gonna click the back button on our tab. And if you, hopefully you get to, you know, bookmark this page, because this is how you get back to all of the maps you created. So here is where you'll be able to see all your maps, okay? You can own your maps or maps you don't own, maps you've shared, you know, your recent maps, you know, and you can see all maps here. So through here, you can create a new map to do another property or another area. You have quick buttons to share the map to Facebook, Twitter, share via email. If you have a website, you can embed this map on your site, because some people, which is a good thing, if you have a listing, you can create a website for that listing and share the photos of it there, share the, you know, how many bed, bath, and all the info, your info, and also this map, which is pretty cool. You could do that. And yeah, you can put it in the trash too if you don't want to do this map anymore. So that is that. You're welcome, Sophia. Yeah, it's on Canva, it's really easy. I don't think you even need to pay for that functionality. A lot of the things on Canva are absolutely free. So that is something really neat. I feel like, you know, people can start doing, and I think there's a huge opportunity for this when you have a farm, because it's an extra way to you know, provide value to people within your farm area, and it strengthens your knowledge of the community, and you also get to share that with other people. Okay, so yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I think I may have had a few slides here. We're pretty much done, guys. This is just a few ideas, and I have many more on how to use this, but I kind of put, you know, 3 of them on the presentation. So you could do the video thing that I was talking about, how you can add videos within your map. So when people click on those locations, they get taken to YouTube videos. Or you can actually record content on social media, talk about a specific neighborhood, you know, the market updates, and let them know, hey, click on the link in my bio or in the description and, you know, subscribe to my map and see, you know, all the different fun things there are in the city, you know. So there's that. Interactive property listings. So yeah, this is kind of, I feel like what we did when we put different, you know, comps, you know, listings within our map, so that people who walk into our open house can kind of see what's out there, and you can embed that within your website, and you can have people explore the map with the photos of those properties, the descriptions, and it provides an immersive, you know, experience that help, you know, people visualize themselves in that area and all the fun stuff they could do there. So that's another fun thing you could do. And yeah, this is the whole farm thing, the collaborative maps with clients. So as you add things to the map, people who already have access to that map will also see those updates. Okay, and I'll find out if they get alerted when you add new things, but I just tend to still notify them via a separate marketing email anyway, because it's a excuse to reach out to them again and build that connection. But yeah, you can collaborate with people, and you never know, some clients might tell you, hey, I'm opening up a new restaurant, can you add it to your map? And then boom, you know. So yeah, this is something that can help you generate recurring connections, if you will, with clientele. So that's fun. But yeah, if you want to read about this, I wrote a blog article about it. Pretty much says everything I just said now, but in a blog format. It's already published on the website. If you guys want to read about it later, you can scan this QR code and bookmark it on your web browser for later. Or you can always just go straight to the website. There's links to it on the emails I send you guys, or you can click on the link in the chat to get taken there and see all of the different, you know, fun stuff to read about agents and technology and all that great stuff. And yeah, that is pretty much it. This is my name, phone number, and all the social media platforms I post on. If you're on any of these and you want to connect, you can scan whichever one and get in touch with me. Do we have any other questions before we close out for the night? Oh man, I hope you guys can still hear me. I think we are solid. Okay, awesome. All right, well, if that is everything, it seems like a few of you guys really love this feature. Man, printer is going crazy. But yeah, reach out to me if you need help with this or if you have more questions about it. But that is all I have for you guys tonight. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Good night.
All righty, good night,
Good
guys.
night. Thank you. Bye.